Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a lovely day. Thanks so much for joining me. Well, today I get to share with you, I'm so excited, I get to share with you a card kit from Spellbinders. Okay, this is called the Just Add Cake Birthday Card Making Kit, and it's so loaded and it's packed so beautifully. In fact, when I opened it up, I had already organized some of the stuff in the kit. Okay, so I kind of prepared myself because it's fully loaded, but it was so packaged beautifully. It was like a present, I have to say. I think you guys are going to really love this. Now, this is what Spellbinders is calling an evergreen kit, meaning if it's popular or stays popular, Spellbinders will restock it. So if it sells out, it's going to come back. So it just may take a little bit of time to get the dies and everything all put back in the pretty package, but it will come back. So that's the great thing about an evergreen kit. Okay, that's if it's really popular. And then I also want to mention too that this kit also has lots of dies. There's actually 7 die sets in here, but they do have 2 extra die sets that are add-ons that go perfectly with the kit too, to kind of complement it. Okay, and I'll link everything down below if you guys want to check it out. Okay, but I took everything out of the box already, but the box is really nice. They have always, Spellbinders always decorates their box really nice. So I think it'll ship like this, maybe. And then the back side has some inspiration, and it gives you a little bit of sneak peeks on what's in it, and then it tells you everything that's in it down here. But when you open up the box, it was packaged beautifully. Like I mentioned, I already organized mine a little bit, but it was all wrapped in this with a nice little sticker, and so it was like a gift, I have to say. We're going to go over everything in it, and then we're going to make some cards using it. Okay, I mentioned that I did organize this a little bit, and when I mean organize, it means I put the die sets in my envelopes. Okay, my storage pocket envelopes. It didn't come like this. Okay, and then I labeled them. So I did that with all the die sets. So all these black pockets are mine. Okay, I just organized it. I want to mention too that they came in they came in with a brochure. Okay, let me show you exactly how it'll come. Okay, your dies will come packaged like this on the back of what looked like cardstock, but when I actually opened it up, it has a brochure. Okay, this one is called Birthday Brew, and it's fabulous. Tells you how to put it together. Okay, and then it comes in a plastic sleeve. Okay, so Birthday Brew has 16 cutting dies, and it creates an arm. I love the wristwatch. It comes with a root beer mug or a beer mug, and it also comes with a HBD coffee mug. So much fun. So that is the Birthday Brew die set that comes with it. This is what it looks like. Okay, and again, yours will come on this plastic sleeve in a plastic package. Beautifully packaged. Okay, so that's our first die set. Our second die set here is called Make It Count Sentiments. And what this is, it has 1 banner die, and then it has 5 greetings that you can insert. Okay, we have Happy Birthday, Celebrate Big, Make It Count, Just Add Cake, and Make a Wish. So all of these can be inserted into this banner die and create some greetings this way. So that's another die set. Our next die set has a fabulous example. You open up the brochure, and it tells you all the dies in here and kind of how to assemble it. This is called Confetti Pop. So much fun. And then this is the 14-piece die set. And they're on the larger side too, which will fill in your card bases beautifully. I think this is actually let's see what size this is. I would almost a little bit larger than a 5x7 brochure. So it would fit perfectly for 5x7 cards too, which I thought was fabulous. Okay, so this is our, this is called the Confetti Pop die set. Okay, next up, oh goodness. Let me show you this one. Next up is this die set. This is called Light the Candles. And you can see it has cupcake. Love this. You can create cupcakes. You could fill the cupcake with flowers and candles, cherries, fully loaded. I just think this is wonderful. You can even add stripes to the cupcake liner. change out the cake for any. There's a bow down here that you can add. So much fun. And this is a 28-piece die set. And the flowers are great on their own too. You get foliage too. So this is not only great with the cupcake, but great for florals too. So this one here is called Light the Candles. Okay, now this is going to be so much fun. Let me show you this one. Chompster. This die set is called Chompster. How fun is this? I love monsters. I think they just make me smile. And I even love that. Where's the glasses? Their glasses are right here. Aren't they so cute? You wearing little spectacles? I just think this is adorable. He could be holding the cupcake, but also if you want to switch them out, he could be holding a flower. This is the inspirational project on the front. How cute. And then this, of course, is the die set. It's a 20-piece die set, but look how large this monster is. He's still going to be so easy to put together and so much fun. Can't go wrong with the birthday card monster, right? So this one here is called Chompster. That's the other die. That's our 5th die set. Our 6th die set is this beautiful floral. And this floral has a little specialness to it, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But this is the inspiration you have on the front. And if you open it up, it says the name down here. This is Garden Party. Okay, and it creates a fabulous floral daisies. Just love this die set. This is 16 pieces. Now you'll notice the daisy here is, you can remove the flower center, or the flower center is separate. Now the reason this is separate is because Spellbinders included the circle shaker domes that will fit perfectly in this daisy. Okay, let me open this up. There's a lot in here too. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 6. There's 10 of these. Okay, and they're little domes. Now these are bulky. I would say they're at least half of an inch tall. Okay, so mailing would probably need a bubble wrap for this, but this creates the perfect dome for this sunflower here, or daisy. You could fill it with a whole bunch of sequins. So they included 10 of these to make those daisies extra special. I'll show you how to make one of these today, okay? So this is the Garden Party die set. That's our 6th die set. And then again, you use your brochures as inspiration too. Okay. Our 7th die set comes with the stamp set. Okay, this is a coordinating die set here. And this stamp set is called Just Add Cake. And this has a whole bunch, let me flip it around here. This has a whole bunch of greetings that you can add to your cards, and then there's pre-sentiments, sub-sentiments, or sentiments on their own that are strips. And there is a strip, there is a strip die too that will cut these out. You'll have to customize it for the shorter ones, but that's really easy to do. But all of these greetings coordinate with the images in our die sets. So that's a nice little perk to our kit here. Okay, the Just Add Cake stamp and die set. There's 10 dies. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so there's 10 all the dies will cut out the greetings, and then you get the strip die that'll cut out the block letters. So those are all the die sets in the stamp set. Okay, next in the kit you get a 3D embossing folder. Okay, this is so much fun. It's called Confetti Drop, and it's all about confetti. Just love this. And this is the larger standard Spellbinder size embossing folder, perfect for birthdays. That's included. And then also included are some card bases and envelopes. The envelopes are very beautiful quality. I have to say these remind me of wedding invitations. That's the quality that they are. Very pretty quality. And then they are the lick and stick. And there's the V-flap, of course, but they're a really nice quality envelope. Okay, and then for our card bases, you get 12 of them. So 12 card bases, 12 envelopes. Okay, card bases have a little bit of texture to them. The card bases are a little bit of a lighter weight. Okay, for me, I use a nice 120-pound card weight for my card bases. So this is or 110-pound weight cardstock for my card bases. So this I would say is 80 pound. It doesn't say on the box, but that's my guess that it's 80-pound weight because it's a pretty lightweight card base. But it does, and again, it does have a little bit of texture to it. So these are A2 in size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and they'll go perfectly with your envelopes. And you get 12 of them to start you off on your birthday card making. Okay, next, let's go over this. Next, you get some splatter effects. This is lime zest. Okay, this is there's a little ball bearing in there, like nail polish that you want to stir it up. You can add some lime green splatters to your cards. Now I do want to mention too that the splatter is available. Splatter and the cardstock are available outside of the kit, but everything else you see here is exclusive to the kit. Spellbinders won't sell any of the die sets or the stamp sets outside of the kit. It's always going to be in the kit, with the exception of the 2 add-ons I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, so everything in here, with the exception of these 2 and the add-ons, are only exclusive to the kit. Okay, but you get some splatter effects, lime zest. Okay, also included is a package of sequins, just to add cake sequins. There's pink. Okay, it looks like pink and blue. And there's an iridescent tone to both of them. And there's a whole bunch in here that will get you going, especially with the shaker domes. I think that's going to be really fun. Okay, so you get some sequins. Well, I guess I'm calling them sequins, but they're confetti. Let's call them confetti because there's no holes in them. And it looks like there's 2 different sizes. Okay, so you get a package of those. And then also included are some rub-ons. These are the Just Add Cake rub-ons. And this side here has chocolate browns, is more toned down. Okay, you have browns and yellows here. A little bit of color here. Okay, but if you flip it over, this one is fully loaded with bright cherry colors. Okay, and then there's lots of greetings in here also that you can rub onto your card projects. There's a popsicle stick to help you rub them on, and you get 2 sheets. So that's also included. And then lastly, you get some ColorWheel cardstock. This is the Just Add Cake Creative Spark Pack. There's 20 half sheets in here. Spellbinders cardstock is 100-pound weight. Great quality. It tells you down here all the colors. It looks like you have a very big variety of colors. And it looks like you get 1 sheet of each. Okay, so they're not doubled up. But you get, if you haven't tried Spellbinders cardstock, this is a great way to try it too, because you get 1 sheet of 20 different colors, which is fabulous. That's also included. Okay, so that is everything in the kit. You get bells and whistles and dies and card bases. Everything to get you started here. Okay, we're going to put this to the side. I'm going to show you, well, I'm going to put this to the side. And then I'm going to show you the add-ons. There's 2 add-ons. Okay, you have the Just Add Cake Color Block Accent Arches. These were so much fun. They look like just regular arches, but they're not. I actually die cut mine out to show you. When you die cut out each of these, this is what they look like. It's so much. Wouldn't that be so adorable on a card? Let me grab another piece of cardstock here. This way you can see. How fun is that? And each of these layers do that. The only one that doesn't do the edge like this is the very last layer. Let me show you. Which is this one. Okay? And then this one has a piece where you can add the tag on the bottom to create one of these tags, which we'll probably do today, so I'll show you how to do that. But this one is the tag, and there's four of these. Okay, and they go down in size. So that's a super fun die set. Okay, and then there's also another die set that is called Striped Right. This is just one die. Okay, you get 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 inch. So if you have trouble cutting strips of cardstock, so this will cut perfectly straight strips for you, and those 4 sizes, and I just think that's wonderful. Okay, so these are the 2 add-ons. Okay, that's everything in the Just Add Cake birthday card making kit. So excited. I know this is a very long introduction or kit unboxing, so bear with me. The video is going to be a little bit longer because we're going to put together a couple of cards. But I couldn't wait to share it with you. I'm going to go ahead and put some cards together and we'll create some cards. Okay, for my first card, we're going to create a garden party birthday card. And I'm going to show you how to create a shaker window out of this. Okay, it's so much fun. Let's do some die cutting. I picked out some colors of cardstock that were bright and cheery. The daisies look like they just have the straight stem. I wanted my daisy to have some leaf greenery to it. So I'm taking the largest leaf stem. I'll cut this out with some peridot. I'm also going to take another leaf die and cut out 2 stems with leaves with the peridot. Okay, and then I have some Spellbinders Tangerine cardstock. I'm going to die cut out some flower centers, the largest daisy, and then there's a smaller daisy that I want to cut out with that. Okay, for my daisy, I'm going to go with some Spellbinders Coral cardstock. Let me find the piece. Okay, this is Spellbinders Coral, and I'm going to cut out both of the daisies with the coral here. With the coral, we're going to need to cut out the flower center. Okay, I'm kind of far away. Let me zoom in a little bit. So we'll add the flower center to the coral cardstock for the largest daisy, and then I'm going to take the daisy die itself and cut out that with white cardstock. I want a backing just to make things easier, so we'll cut that out. And then while we're doing our die cutting, I thought we would go ahead and die cut out our arches. So I'm going to take the second from the largest. I'm going to cut this out with a light yellow cardstock. This is one from my stash. This is Spellbinders Chamomile from their Color Essential cardstock. They don't have it anymore, but any lighter colored cardstock you have would work. And then I'll take the one right below that and we'll cut this out with some white cardstock also here. Okay, we might as well do all of our die cutting at once. So I will run this through and I will be right back. My die cutting is done. Okay, we're going to ink blend a little bit on here. I'm using my Simon Says Stamp inks. This is terracotta. It's an orangey red. And I'm going to add a little bit of color to the edges of our daisies. And you know what? I'm going on the outside edge, but I think I'm going to go on the inside. So let me bring in. Okay, I put a little bit on the outside, but I want more on the inside here. Okay, so let's add some on the inside. Well, that looks really pretty. You know, I think I might add a little yellow to that. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of I'm going to add a little bit of honey on this also. Yeah, I think that's just going to make it pop. Wonderful. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the flower center. I'm going to go around the edge. Now I'm going to bring in some greening. This is Fairway, and we're going to add a little shading to our leaves too. I'm not worried about the top of the leaves because those will be covered. As I was looking at the flower centers, I think I need to really bring in a little bit of brown. Okay, so I'm bringing in my Simon Says Stamp Mocha. And I'm going to add, I need some brown on here. And I think that's just what it needed. I think the brown is just going to make it stand out a little bit more. Okay. Now to put the shaker together, it's very simple. I'm going to first add this bottom layer using a little bit of glue to the bottom portion of the daisy. Okay, and then we're going to bring in our clear domes. I like that they included so many. Okay. Now I'm going to add glue. Using my glue, I'm going to go on the inside edge of my daisy. This could be a sunflower too. That's the nice part. And then I'm just going to go ahead and layer. Okay, this may take a little bit of time to grab. Okay, so I'm going to use my tweezers. I'm going to go on this side. I have these little clips that I'm going to use too. Okay, so this takes a little bit of time to grab. You have to push them together. Okay, otherwise the daisy will pop up from the dome. Okay, so we're going to put this to the side, and now we're going to work on our background. These are our two die cut arches. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is layer them both together. Okay, and then let's go ahead and stamp our greeting. In our stamp set, I'm gonna stamp Happy Birthday. I'm gonna use my VersaFine Clair. We're gonna stamp Happy Birthday. And I want to mention that these are photopolymer stamps. Okay, they are wonderful quality photopolymer. Okay, and I'm also going to stamp a sub-sentiment. It says, make it a day to remember. Lovely. And then I'm going to use the coordinating dies, and we're going to cut out our happy birthday here, and our make it a day. What I'm going to do with the make it a day to remember, I'll die cut it out like this, and then I'll shift the die over, and I'll cut the rest of it out. Okay, I'll do that, and I'll be right back. You could very well fill your shaker with these sequins, but I'm going to bring something in for my stash. These are tiny bubbles, and they're from Doodlebug Design. And I also have some of my Lily White balls. I'm going to mix both of these together to put the shaker, okay? And I'll list these down below. These are pretty fun. What I'm going to do is take some of the balls here. And then I'm going to take some of the bubbles. The bubbles will make noise. I think that, well, that's probably a lot. Maybe I should scoop some out. Okay, I'm going to remove my little clamps. It looks like the glue, you can actually see when the glue is dried. Okay, and the nice thing is too is they lay flat on your desk, so they're not wobbly. The bottoms of these are almost flat, so you know it's not going to flip over. I'm going to take the bottom part of my daisy. We're going to add some glue behind here. This is so much fun to put together. And then we're going to flip this around, and we're going to line this up, and we'll just tack them together. And then, are you ready for the reveal? You can hear it. Here we go. Look how cute this is. And that is our little shaker. I think that makes a perfect birthday card. To finish off my card, I have an A2 panel of beeswax. We're going to add this to the front of our card base. This is going to make it a little bit thicker, which is nice. I'm just going to use my glue. Okay, and then we have our little arches. Those are going to go directly on the front of our card base. I think that's a good spot. This one looks like it's floating, but I'm not going to be worried about it because this is where we're going to add our greeting. Okay, I did put foam tape behind our greeting. And so I'll layer this here. And then we're also going to bring in the sequins that came in our mix. And I'm just going to add a few in the background of just the lighter ones. And then that will finish off that card. Fun little happy birthday card. Just love it. Okay, we'll put this to the side and then we're going to work on our next card. For my next card, I thought, well, of course, we're going to make a cupcake card because you know I love my sweets. So we're going to be using the Light the Candles die set. I'm going to create a cupcake filled with flowers, and we're going to use the same colors of cardstock that we used for our first card. Okay, let's go ahead and grab the same cardstock. For the cupcake frosting, I'm going to die cut it out with the orange. Okay, and then the sprinkles behind it, I want to go a little bit lighter with the coral. So we'll layer these two together. So I'll have some light orange frosting with dark sprinkles behind it because this is going to be a solid piece. Okay, so that's that piece. My cake is going to be chocolate. So let's bring in the cupcake. Cut out some chocolate here. I'm going to create some flowers. I like this one especially, so I'll create 2 of these and then 1 of these. And then these have details on them that you can put a flower behind it. So these pieces I'm going to put behind my flower with white cardstock. And then these 2 flowers I'm going to cut out, one of them with my darker yellow, which is beeswax. Okay, yellow we'll cut out with this one. Okay, and then I'll do 1 more of these with my orange. So the orange so far has these 2. Okay, and then we're going to do a yellow with this one. Of course, we need some green leaves, so I'll bring in some peridot cardstock and we'll cut out. There's several different leaves in here, and I'm going to do the single ones. We'll cut those out. I like odd numbers, so I'm going to do 5 times since we're going to have 3 flowers. And then there's some foliage. I'm going to add a little white to mine. So this piece here, I'll cut out with white. Oh, we have the cupcake liner. We're going to go with craft cardstock. This is Nina Desert Storm cardstock. We'll cut that out. And then there's some stripe pieces that I'm not going to create stripes for my cupcake, but I am going to create like a fluted look. So I'll cut that out with my craft also. And flower centers. This I'm going to cut out this piece for all 3 of my flower centers. Okay, this one will go out with my brown, which is timber, Spellbinders timber. Okay, and then I'm going to cut out a few berries. And there is a die that will cut out the small berries here, but I'm not going to use it because I'm going to use some liquid pearls for that. And we'll cut this out with green also. I'll cut 2 times. Okay, that's all the die cutting I'm going to do. I'll run everything through my die cut machine and I'll be right back. Now we're going to use the same inks and do a little bit of ink blending. First off on our leaves. This just adds so much. Let's create our cupcake. So we'll add the frosting. These 2 layers go together. And you could do chocolate sprinkles, you could do white sprinkles. I'm just going for tone on tone kind of sprinkles. Okay, so that's all done. And then as far as our cupcake liner goes, this one here goes here. And then this one goes on the end. Just the ink that's left over on my brown blending brush. And I am going to add a little shading here. Okay, now we need to add our cupcake, which is our chocolate. We'll add a little glue here at the bottom. I want a tall cupcake, so I'm going to scoot it as low as I can. That's our cupcake, nice and tall. Okay, we'll put this to the side. Let's add our flowers. All I'm going to do for the flowers is add a dot of glue in the center of each one of these. And then I'm going to fluff up the petals a little bit, and we'll do our layering here. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to decorate my cupcake while it's on my card. Okay, so so we'll put these to the side, and then in the meantime we're going to take our embossing folder And this is, again, the confetti drop. And I'm going to emboss a white piece of cardstock. We'll add this in here. So this panel is going to go on one of our card bases here. So let's go ahead and take this and glue this down. I'm going to leave it white. Okay, I'm going to take some more of the Nina Desert Storm cardstock and cut out my tag here. And then this bottom piece, I'm going to use my timber cardstock. And I'll be right back. Okay, and then all we have to do is layer this piece behind here. And we're going to thread our little tag here. We're going to give our card a little bit of extra texture. Okay. Then I'll tie a bow with it. And there's my tag. Okay, let's go ahead and add our cupcake and our tag to our card here. Kind of want to place it a little bit wonky and overlapping each other. Okay, we'll tack this down, and then we're going to bring in some foam squares, and we're going to add our flowers here. Now before we add the rest of the leaves, I went ahead and stamped my greeting. I stamped just to add cake. And I'm going to do a little adjusting. I want my just to add cake to be here. Okay, so we'll remove the release paper. And I just use this, and I just love the greetings that are in this. That's cute. Okay, and then I can fill in the leaves around the rest of my flowers. And you know, I'm not going to add these ones. I thought we would add some little berries, but I'm not going to add these ones. Okay, I think there's plenty going on here, and I really like the way this has turned out. Okay, so I'm not going to add these ones. Okay, and lastly, for finishing touches, we're going to add a few more of these little sequins here. I'm just going to add the lighter color. And you know what? For both of these cards, I'm going to bring in a little of my diamond stickles. I want to add a little shine here to this flower center, and then to these also. Diamond stickles looks fabulous on dark colors. I think that's just what I needed. And those are my cards today. Some fun birthday cards using the Just Add Cake birthday card making kit from Spellbinders. I think it's so much fun. There's so many. I used flowers today, but gosh, there's so much you could do with the kit. But I thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my projects, and have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.